And you wanted to start with Doom because of all the movies on this list. You said that's the one that's closest to. That's the one you care about the most.
It's not that I care about it the most. It's the one that you could say that I like the most, but it's not that I like it the most.
Okay.
I just know the most about that fucking movie.
Okay.
And I do hold it in fond regard.
Regard?
Yeah. I read it in a Hallmark thing that I'm buying for Christmas.
Okay.
Okay, so
you have a nostalgic type of love for it.
That's a much better way to say it than in fond regard.
So when did Doom come out?
I want to say
film,
it came out
not the video game.
Right. I want to say the movie star, and we're talking about Doom with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I think he was still going by that.
He was just The Rock.
He was just The Rock?
He was The Rock at the time.
Okay.
It was before he tried to do Dwayne Johnson, and it was way before he gave up on Dwayne Johnson and went back to being The Rock.
So it's the one starring The Rock, not Doom Annihilation. That's not the one we're talking about here.
Well, I mean, I'll bring it up because I just watched most of it.
Right.
Today, but yeah, we're talking about Doom. Well, let's figure out that year. I'll search it real quick. Yeah, 2005.
See, I don't even know how I knew that.
You didn't know it. You never said it.
I said it. I think it was like 2005. If I didn't say it, I meant to say it.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
I don't think you said it.
Okay.
I think you're just taking credit.
I actually edited IMDb right before you did that.
Like it's Wikipedia.
I had it right here.
You can just change the years that movie came out. Like,
oh shit! It's 2005.
IMDb is not Wikipedia. You can't just change things.
No, but it feeds off of it. Anyway, though, yeah. Back in 2005.
2005. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. This is the Let's Get Trashed harsh truth corner. All right. You were too old, Clarence, for you to have nostalgic love for this movie.
What do you mean I'm too old? Oh,
when it came out.
In 2005?
2005, you were 16, 15.
Yeah, something like that.
A shitty movie comes out when you're 15, you don't get to love it the rest of your life.
That's almost 25 years ago, brother.
That doesn't matter.
Or 20 years ago.
It's about the starting point. Look, this is the harsh truth corner, okay? You got to listen to this. I love an equally bad film, Mortal Kombat. That came out in 1996. When did
I want to say 7. And I said it this time. I said 97.
Mortal Kombat 95.
Okay, so you were closer.
I was closer. Mortal Kombat came out in 95. I love it dearly to this day, but I saw it when I was 6. And it's that you can have nostalgic love for something that it's bad, but when I was 6, I loved it. You were 15 when Doom came out.
I didn't read at a 6-year-old level until I was 18. So that's where the distinct.
It's all about
I knew that there was a thing.
It's all about your reading level. How many accelerated reading points did you get from seeing Doom as a high schooler?
Oh, clearly 0. Clearly 0. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was in it. Clearly 0.
Yeah. So we have The Rock. We have Karl Urban,
right?
And Rosamund Pike,
right,
as our 3 stars of Doom. But did you ever play the video game Doom?
Yeah, I'd play it in the sense that like I would play it and then I'd die and another friend would take over. You know how you used to have to do?
It was a one-player game.
Exactly. And so, yeah, I would play it like that. I never played it
This is on computer?
No, this was on Raspberry Pi. This is not too long ago.
Oh, you played it recently?
Yes.
Okay.
And it still holds up.
Oh, the game is great. This is the original you played.
This is the original. Okay. Yeah, because you can run it on anything.
Yeah,
there's a whole subreddit about it, maybe multiple.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can even play it in. You can play a version of it, I think, in like Doom Eternal or Doom 2016.
That's tight.
The modern versions of it, yeah. The modern versions of it, you can, you walk into a secret hallway. There's an arcade game. and then you go up to that, and then you're playing the original Doom.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
See,
I'm pretty sure they did that in Doom 2016. I know they did it for a fact in Wolfenstein. If you play,
that's cool as fuck.
if you're playing one of the new Wolfenstein reboots, part of that once you're in your home base after level 3 or whatever, you get your home base established. You could climb up to the attic, and there's an arcade game there, and it's the original Wolfenstein.
That's sweet.
So you can play the original game from back in the day inside the inside the new updated beautiful game. And both of those games were made by the same company, so I'm pretty sure they did it on Doom as well.
That's sweet.
Doom, for our audience that doesn't know, is a legendary first-person shooter. Not the first one. Quake is the first one, right?
I wouldn't know, actually.
It's among the first. It was the genre-defining first-person view video game where all you see on the screen is a hand with a gun, and you walk around, walking through hallways, turning and shooting whatever enemy pops up in front of you. It was so influential that for a decade, if not more, any first-person shooter that came out was called a Doom clone.
Yep.
They didn't use the term first-person shooter until years later, many years later. It was just called a Doom clone. The same way we call every tissue Kleenex.
Or every brown soda, a Coke.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Doom was to this industry, folks. So I emphasize that to just elucidate how significant and influential this video game franchise is still to this day. And then in 2005, so you played the original Doom. You've played it more than I have. What was the story?
I really couldn't tell you. This was at a video game night, so don't take me as an authority on Doom. But what I know is that there was a travel through a portal that took you to hell.
Yes. Okay. Good.
And you are battling demons. You are the Hell Slayer.
Yeah. Doom Slayer.
Yeah, the Doom Slayer. Pardon me, guys. Don't at me. You're the Doom Slayer. You're traveling through hell through a portal that you went to, and you're killing demons. That's all we were trying to do in my playthrough.
Exactly. So the game has stayed the same since the beginning, basically, story-wise. You are somehow you're a portal into hell, and you're fighting demons. And there's a bunch of different types of demons. There's fat demons. There's skinny demons. Some of them run fast. Some of them are slow. Whatever. But you've got different things to do. But it's a very simple thing. Simple concept. You get sent to hell, and you're shooting demons. Or demons come through this portal that somebody opens, and now they're walking around your army base. They're walking around wherever you are, and you got to kill demons.
It's you versus demons.
I don't understand, for the life of me, how they fucked it up so bad when they made a movie. Because here's the thing, and we're going to talk about this multiple times, because we have another The Rock movie called Rampage, which is based on another very simplistic video game, The Rampage.
Straightforward.
And a couple other, talking Mortal Kombat for definitely, and then even Resident Evil, which is the most complex of the video games, for sure.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing. You have a very simple premise of a video game. And if I'm a filmmaker, if I'm a writer, if I'm a director, if I'm adapting this to film, I'm thinking I hit the jackpot because I have a very simple premise. All I have to do is get this simple premise on screen, add a few interesting characters, add enough excitement to keep the thing going, and make it happen. You have enough freedom to you know. You shouldn't be given enough rope to hang yourself with when you're trying to make this kind of adaptation. But it's what happens every time because they won't embrace the weirdness of the video game. Every Doom movie, maybe not everyone, because I'm at Doom Annihilation, and I guess they're kind of doing it correctly. But the first one, they're like, oh, we don't want it to be demons. We're gonna turn them into zombies.
Martian zombies.
So the scientists are doing experiments on Mars, but they're not opening up a portal to hell and letting demons come in. I don't know why they're not. Instead, they're doing science experiments, okay?
And there is a portal that's like takes the shape of this floating ball of liquid that takes you to Mars.
Right, you hop into a giant lava lamp and you can go to Mars.
You throw up when you get there.
Yeah, there's a lava lamp portal, and that's how people go back and forth from the Mars science base back to
Earth,
Arizona. Yeah, wherever the hell this thing is.
Always America.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Confucius say, what the fuck is this enormous lava lamp portal doing in the middle of China? That's not... He's not going to say that, all right? The portal's in America.
It's in New Zealand, guys. Yeah. Sorry.
But instead of just being like, hey, they're experimenting with hell and then the demons get loose, they just...
Simple premise. Could have worked.
It's a movie. They could easily just do it. I don't know what the problem is. But instead they're like, no, they're doing scientists. They find alien skeletons on Mars. They're taking the 24th chromosome.
They recover a 24th chromosome.
And then they start injecting it into people. And then it goes wrong. But then it's just another zombie movie. And here's the train of thought that I don't understand is why is... They do that kind of stuff because they want to add some sort of like verisimilitude. They want to add realism to this kind of stuff. But in what universe is a zombie movie on Mars more realistic than a demon portal movie on Mars?
In Elon Musk's universe.
You know, that's actually a good point because Elon Musk is trying to brain chip all of us, and we'll probably become fucking
zombies on Mars.
Of that. And then, he's going to send us to Mars.
In a big tin can. That's what that rocket ship looks like.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But
that's the thing is
all the same. I get what you're saying.
The zombie thing isn't more believable. So why not just go for it? Why not just do the demon shit?
Exactly. It's not like anybody's going to be like, I didn't come to the movies to suspend disbelief. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
No. And verisimilitude, by the way, great use of that word. $5.
I'm a smart guy.
Nice.
It's, and so now they're wandering around and they're fighting the scientists, and then the scientists turn into these weird, like, again, zombie monsters and stuff like that. But it just doesn't, instead of having a main character, that's another problem.
There you go.
Every Doom game, you're the main character. You're the Doom Slayer. Somehow you get entangled in this thing. You got to go kill all the demons. The newest Doom video games, which are excellent, Doom 2016, and then in 2019 came Doom Eternal. Fabulous video games. And I say that word with a staunch record of heterosexuality. They're incredible video games. And they're great. In Doom 2016, they reboot the series. It's the first of the new. We're resetting Doom.
The new idea, yeah.
Yeah. They're drilling for energy. Hell is where we get all of our energy, folks. We're no longer using fossil fuels. We're no longer using solar power. We found a way to
fuck wind turbines.
We found a way to drill into hell. Hell's always on fire. I don't know if you know this. We found a way to drill into hell. And we are extracting that energy. But while we were down there, we let a bunch of demons out. That was a mistake. And then also we found a dude who was like on ice. We found a dude who was in a casket.
That's cool. I think we should probably let that casket open.
We opened the casket. Thank God they opened the casket because it's you. It's the player. You're the Doomslayer. They imprison. You're also an extraterrestrial being fighting hell demons. They captured you and they locked you away. But the same corporation that let the demons out, they let you out. And so they're like, "Oh, can you help us?" And then you just go kill a bunch of demons. It's such a better story, and it gives you one main character to latch onto. Yeah, exactly. Because we've got The Rock, we've got Karl Urban, we've got Karl Urban's sister Rosamund Pike.
Right.
We've got the
Portman, Goat, Tank.
Who was the super
Preacher?
Was he the super religious one?
Yeah, I think Preacher, something like that. His name was either Preacher or something very religious and on the nose.
He's the one that cuts himself whenever he.
Yeah. I took his name in vain.
Whenever, he says "God damn it," then he takes a knife and cuts his own arm for.
He cuts a cross into his arm.
Yeah, like self-flagellation. It's insane, and there's so many characters, and nobody's. Karl Urban doesn't even emerge as our main character till way too late in the film.
Like 11 minutes until the end of the film, he turns into like he gets this. Sorry for the spoilers on this one, guys.
Oh, this movie's from 2005. There's no spoilers on any of what we're talking about today.
He turns into the Doomslayer after getting the 24th chromosome.
That's right. His sister gives it to him.
Yeah.
His sister, the scientist, she gives it to him to keep him alive because he's about to die.
Yeah. So he turns into the Doomslayer, and you take this moment where he looks at a mirror and all of his wounds are healed, and then it turns into a first-person view, and baby, you got Doom. There it is. Right there.
That's the other thing is there's a 8-minute sequence. It's very long. It's too long.
Especially for people who get motion sickness, I'll tell you.
Yeah, because this video game was such an iconic first-person adventure, first-person shooter game, they're like, we have to incorporate that. We have to incorporate that in the movie somehow.
Come on, guys, it's Doom.
There's an 8-minute sequence that's a first-person. You're watching a movie from the first-person point of view where you are walking around shooting zombie scientists because it's all zombies in lab coats.
And that one guy who was on the wheelchair,
Pinky.
He
becomes the Pinky, which was a
type of
demon. Yeah. Now it's just a zombie in a wheelchair.
That was so cheesy.
Yeah, it's cheesy, and
I do love that movie though. I'll tell you.
They take this idea that was kind of wild and out there, and they water it down.
You know what? One thing, and this is gonna sound like, well, I guess just follow me on it. It's like if you go into a zoo and you see, oh cool, that's an elephant, oh cool, that's a bunch of flamingos, oh cool, that's this or that. That's one way to experience it, but the better way to experience it is if you ever had the chance being out in the wild and you're like, holy shit, that's an elephant doing like actual elephant things. This is it in its actual own environment, which is it. Like you can experience Doom, and if they made a Doom video game like off of what you're talking about, that would be tight.
Well, that is a video game. I mean,
a Doom movie. I meant to say movie.
Well, so the Doom Annihilation, which came out in 2019.
That's a segue, folks.
So this is a newer this is a remake, a reboot. It's not even a sequel. It's just another attempt at making Doom. But this one went straight to video. I'm like 3/4 of the way through it. It's inexplicably even lower budget. I mean, there's nobody famous in this one. So there's that. There's not a single famous actor. But it's lower budget. It's better lit. That's another huge criticism of 2005 Doom.
It's dark as fuck.
You can't see a thing. Even in like the relax, we're in the lobby having a good time, routine investigation.
Just got here.
We're just going to check it out, make sure everything's okay, and go back home. Even in that's supposed to be brightly lit, it's so hard. It's too dark. It's poor, and then once they're walking through the hallways, the dark hallways trying to find things, it's just most of the movie is darkness. So it's really bad. That's why people hated it. That's a big reason of why. This movie's much better lit. You can see everything. None of the acting is good. It's all bad. I can't imagine. I was blown away watching this thing, being like, "There's no way it can be as bad as The Rock and Karl Urban in Doom," and it's as bad. It's worse. It's so much worse. And because they're nobodies, and they all have different weird accents. But the thing I appreciated about it is they're once again, they're on Mars. They're on the moon of Mars, Phoebe or Phobos or whatever.
Phobos, yeah.
Yeah, they're on Phobos, the inner moon of Mars's two moons. And as the new Marine squad shows up for their 3-year, tour, their
rotation, sort of.
Yeah, they're rotating in. Right as an experiment goes bad with these portals, that they're testing portals, trying to figure out how to travel the universe with these portals that we discovered.
Okay,
with this old ass, hieroglyphic Sumerian language shit on it. What of course they find out is that it's not really a portal. There's one in Nevada, and there's one on Phobos. Yep.
Always
the
America first.
The American West and moon of our
inner
Mars.
moon of Mars. Yeah. Moon of Mars. Yeah.
It's always in America. So they're like, yeah, we found these doors, but it turns out they're not necessarily just portals. They're also doorways to hell. So this one is a demon one.
Okay, all right. They got that right.
Kind of, except for the fact that the demons come out and they immediately start possessing the scientists.
People. Yeah.
They start possessing people.
So you just got right back into...
you're back at zombie.
Yeah.
If it's still a person in a lab coat. Now their face is a little blue, but they're walking around trying to eat your throat. They're trying to eat your brains now.
Why go the extra step? Why not just have it to where even if you just want it to be like a zombie-like entity, you just let it be like the zombies or the demons are the ones who are trying to eat the throats or something. Like, why make them possess them? Is there a story reason you've heard, you've seen so far?
No, it's not a story reason. I'll tell you exactly why they do it.
Budget.
Yep. Because if you either have to create a really good demon costume, which they don't want to do, or you have to do CGI, which they can't afford to do. Except for there's a couple CGI bad guys that are like, those are the heavies. Those are the big bad guys.
Good CGI?
No, it's terrible.
Okay.
So they're saving their CGI budget for the 2 or 3 demon characters they have to. All the other demons, they're just going to possess lab coat scientists, and then we can just paint their face blue and shave their heads. And now they're the demons.
That's booty, son.
It sucks. And it's also, and then, and then they try to have that moment of like, we can't shoot them. They're humans. They're not human anymore. Which happened in Doom 2005. It happened in Doom Annihilation 2019.
I do want to make mention of one thing, just stepping real quick back into the room that is Doom 2005. One of the worst lines in that movie is where Karl Urban says to his sister after they're like figuring everything out, he says, "Don't you see? This place is hell. It always was." Trying to tie it back in like a clear rewrite of the script. Like, I think they'll get mad at us as fans if we don't say it's hell.
Yeah, you're right. I'm glad you brought that up. Exactly. That's just they think that's a little treat for the true fans that know it's supposed to be about hell.
And that's why it's so bad, because it just kind of twists the knife. It's like, hey, we're reminding you that there was a potentially better movie here.
Yeah, or at least something that's stuck closer to the script.
Exactly.
And again, it only bothers me because one is not more believable than the other.
Yeah, a portal to hell, you send that same team to through a portal to hell, and then they get killed off, and then one emerges. Like that, you could even do that movie right off the sister and the scientist plot entirely.
Yeah.
That's it.
Or they could still be experimenting with
hell.
I think we found a way into hell, and then a bunch of stuff.
The demons there have
hell. Bum, bum, portal
They have to play that
hell.
every single time they go through.
Yeah, every time you go through, they have to play Portal to Hell.
All right, guys,
by
you got your shots.
AC/DC.
There's just one more thing, and then they all roll their eyes, and they're like, just hit play.
Bum, bum. Yeah.
But, yeah, getting back to Annihilation for a minute there, like you were saying,
Uh-huh.
easier to make demon-possessed people than an actual good demon costume.
Right.
And the budget had to go to CGI for the big bosses.
Here's some of the, and I took just a few, here's some of the, I mean, here's the
highlights?
No. Well, the first little detail we get are, so our main character, also 2019, our main character is a woman, a strong woman.
What the?
Guess what? You'll never guess in a million. So it's a Marine woman who eventual destiny is to fight the demons from hell. And guess what her name is? You'll never guess. It's smarter than you think, but it's way worse than you think.
Teresa St. Strong.
Wow. That's a good guess. That's not what it is.
Okay.
But you're really close.
Okay, all right.
Her name is Joan Dark.
Okay. Wait, okay, I get the Joan part. The dark part?
Da Ark.
Okay,
Joan,
all right.
Joan d'Arc.
I hate it.
Joan d'Arc. She's the woman that's going to save us.
Oh man.
Saint Joan d'Arc is the woman that's going to save us from anti-Catholic demons.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
It's awful.
Lighting change.
Yeah.
Joan d'Arc.
So her name is Joan Dark.
That would be like naming a character who works with killer whales, Willard Kales. That would be exactly that. Like
it wouldn't be like that.
It would.
No,
you'd just be able to see it. I mean, not in a religious sense, of course. Saint Willard of Kales.
It's not changed. It's just that it's a play on Joan of Arc.
I
but
know,
it's just
but it's just as eye rolling. Is what I'm saying.
That's true. It is as eye rolling.
It's like, oh God, you guys couldn't have given her anything else.
Here's the other thing. So she's the lieutenant. Everybody hates her. All of her Marines hate her because she. I don't know. They give you some vague backstory. She fucked up, and now that they all got sent to Mars for a 3-year tour of duty, which none of them want to do, they're all mad at her, except for her captain. But the captain, he's not happy about it either. He's the guy in charge. As soon as they land, he gets on his iPad to record a video message for his wife and daughter back home on Earth, and he's like, you were right. As soon as this assignment came through, I should have retired. And he's like, so that's what I'm going to do. As soon as I get everybody established, we get into the base, get our duty roster set and everything. He's like, I'm retiring. I'm going to come back home. I'll be back home in 6 months. Cause I made a mistake. I should have retired before this. This is my last. He looks right into the camera. I'm retiring. In parentheses, I'm getting too old for this shit. In parentheses, oh no, and he looks right into the camera. He even more looks into the camera, eye contact with me, the audience, and he's like, "I'm coming home." And then you're watching this, you're like, "No, you're not."
He's not.
I've seen cops about 6 weeks from getting their 20. Just as soon as I get, I've seen the cops about to retire die in every movie ever.
Oh yeah. Oh, or just like Battle for Los Angeles, which isn't a great movie. Right before this alien invasion, this Marine guy's like, "You sure you don't want to enroll for another one?" And he's like, "Nah, I did my 20. I'm out. I'm getting too old for this."
Yep.
And then aliens fucking attack, and they're like, "We need every man we can get."
And then of course that guy has to die.
Actually, that guy made it through, but he got a lot of people killed.
Oh,
that's the thing.
Well, that doesn't. No, the point is.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Like, it's always that cliche.
The cliche is movies kill that guy. They give us, instead of doing any actual character development or giving us any pathos or anything to care about at all, they just some vague backstory. He's got a wife and a daughter.
That's the one that happened in Battle for Los Angeles.
He's got a wife and a daughter. He's about to retire. He's almost out of this life.
Getting too old for this shit.
And that's enough. Screenwriters believe that is enough for us to give a shit when he is inevitably killed.
And it doesn't matter what it is.
By a demon in a lab coat.
It could be like a mafia movie or like a cop drama or an army sort of thing. It's like, I'm getting too old for this.
Yeah, it's the trope is called One Last Job. Yeah. It's quite literally, the trope has been defined as like one last job. And
that happens on the moon with the captain in Doom Annihilation.
Right, yeah, right as they're landing. He's like, as soon as I get my squad all situated, I'm putting in my 2 weeks and I'm coming back home I'm on the next transport out of here.
And I'm not dying at all.
Yeah, and of course they land and shit's already gone haywire, so they're like, now we have to kill a bunch of demons. Yeah, that's
immediate
rough. I will say one thing I kind of liked about it, which is there is a nerdy. So the people being transported to the moon is these like 10 Marines for their tour of duty, and then also a scientist he's getting his dream job. The Marines are not happy to be there; they don't want to be on Mars. But the scientist, he got called up to the big leagues. This is the best day of his life, and he coincidentally happened to him and Joan Dark used to date back in the day, briefly.
What a coincidence!
What a coincidence! Of all the flights to Mars, you and I are on this one.
You sit next to us, or
they briefly dated, but anyway, he's supposed to be the typical like nerdy scientist who probably, I haven't finished it, but he'll probably end up saving the day with his smartness, even though everybody else is tough and but he's not a total dweeb. They could have made him too dorky,
right?
But he's not a total loser. He's like, they're like, stay out of the way. He's not intimidating. He's like, fine. And he just knows stuff. He speaks, he's not like stuttering like, oh, actually the atmosphere on Mars is a very, he's just like, no, he's a pretty cool dude. He's not a Marine.
Right.
But he's
competent.
Yeah. He's a regular dude. And he's like, yeah, sure, man, whatever you want. He's like, I know how to fix this, kind of stuff. So I like that guy so far.
Okay.
But nevertheless, it's it's rough. And Doom 2005 was equally rough.
Doom 2005 has this really good line. It's not a good line, but it's just my favorite line in the movie. The character Portman, who's kind of shown to be this like, he's the one who's like really kind of creepy, with the big teeth and all of that.
I don't remember.
He's the one who is wearing, oh God, he gets killed in the bathroom. If you remember that in 2005. No worries. He's played by a character actor from English named Richard Brake.
Okay.
He's been in a lot of stuff. And long story short, there's this one part where they all have cameras on their guns. He sets his down to take a shit. And Pinky asks him, hey, Portman, I don't see your camera. And he goes, I'm taking a shit, you fucking gimp. And then he gets killed immediately after that.
Oh, okay.
Just completely telegraphing that. That's one of the things that sticks in my mind about that movie. That one, you couldn't make that movie today and just say that. And two,
why? Because he calls Pinky a gimp.
Yeah, but like, why? Two, why? Why did you think that? Why did that line make the final cut of the movie? Of everything that they shot, they were like, "Nah, we need to make Portman say, I'm taking a shit, you fucking gimp."
Yeah, and then he gets killed while on the toilet.
I guess that might be it. That he gets his comeuppance for saying one.
It explains why would he turn his camera off?
Well, he just laid his gun down. That was the whole thing.
Oh, but I thought you said Pinky. I thought.
Yeah, well, they have cameras on their guns in that movie, and he laid his down.
But he didn't turn it off.
No, he didn't. He just saw the floor, and Pinky's like, "I didn't see a floor on your gun cam."
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that's what reminded me of it because.
Well, that makes sense.
The character you were talking about in Annihilation, like the Pinky character in there is just like shown to be kind of a little bitchy, you know, and stuff. And they didn't do that. It doesn't sound like with this character.
This dude's not bitchy.
It sounds like it might be analogous, sort of.
Yeah, it's definitely the same kind of archetype, but they didn't make him too bitchy, which I appreciate. I like that about whatever this unmemorable dude's name is. I at least like the fact that he's just
that Guyerson.
He's just a competent dude. Yeah, that Guyerson. That's exactly who he is. Yeah, you know what? That's funny. I wonder how many like cops in America are turning off their body cams, being like, "I'm just taking a shit," and then they're just beating up. They're just hitting a black dude with a nightstick at a traffic stop.
Oh, you think they use nightsticks for black people? How cute!
Nightstick's just a funnier word than gun, but yeah, you're right.
I'm going to tell you a quick joke. What's the difference between a cop and a bullet?
What?
When it comes to a bullet, you'll know when it's been fired.
Nice one. All right. Anything else on Doom?
No. Anything else on Annihilation?
No. Like I said, I haven't finished it. It's way low budget. It looks cheap. The set looks cheap. There's like just plants. They have one scene.
They filmed it at a garden ridge or like a Home Depot garden?
They have one set that's like it's the underground base. It's the underground base, which I guess means we're going into Resident Evil after this.
There you go. That's a good transition.
We'll connect them with underground bases. But this part of the underground base has, this is where they keep all their plants, and you can tell it's just one big room, and they've filmed like 20 scenes in this room, but just different parts of it.
That's man, you got $20,000 to make a movie. You do what you can.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask one more question about Annihilation. How do you hope it will end? Are there any things that you think like, oh, main character does this, that, or whatever? Do you have any thoughts about what you think is going to happen, having not seen the last quarter of the movie?
I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. So
okay, perfect.
Everyone's going to die. So the people we have 5 Marines left. The other 5 died. And then there's only like 4 there's 3 scientists and a chaplain, the religious guy. He's the base has a chaplain. The Mars base. One of them is the head scientist whose fault this all is. And every time Joan of Arc gives him an instruction, every time Joan d'Arc is like, all right, we're leaving. And he's like, we can't leave. But no, first thing she's like, tell me what happened. He's like, I can't tell you what we're working on. It's classified. And she's like, everybody's dead. You're going to fucking tell me right now. He's like, fine, I'll tell you. And then, so we get all the backstory. A few minutes later, she's like, okay, we're leaving. Everybody back to the ship. We're evacuating. And he's like, we can't evacuate. We've worked too long on all this stuff. We have to restart the power source. And she's like, all my men are dead. All your scientists are dead. We're leaving right now. It's not up to you. This is a military operation. And so this guy is getting punked at every turn by a girl.
Can't let that happen, can you?
So he's going to betray the head scientist, not her ex-boyfriend, but the actual the Mars scientist, the one who discovered all this. He's going to betray all of them in order to preserve his life's work. It's going to cause a bunch of people to die, and then he thinks he's going to make a deal with whatever demon that he can get into contact with. He thinks he's going to make a deal with him, and then the demon's going to backfire on him. 1,000% I know that's going to happen.
Okay.
The only 2 people that are going to survive, only 3 people that are going to survive is maybe the chaplain. Definitely.
I'd say maybe on the chaplain.
Maybe on the chaplain. He got scratched. He might be turning into a zombie pretty soon. I'm not sure. But he's religious enough to keep the demons at bay. I think that's going to be his role now that they're all part of it. And she wears a cross necklace because her mom gave it to her as a little girl.
That's definitely important.
Yeah. Oh, it's 100%.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's going to live, and her ex-boyfriend, the scientists, are going to live, and they're going to escape together and maybe rekindle their fling from 6 years ago, whenever it was.
Big twist at the end or anything like that? You don't feel that coming?
Not a twist, but it's definitely going to be... They're definitely going to set up for a sequel that'll never get made. with a they think everything's done. They maybe even self-destruct the base. We self-destruct the base. That explosion will give us enough lift to help our spaceship escape the atmosphere. They're doing that, and then they think everybody in the base died, and then the portal with all the Sumerian hieroglyphics on it, it's gonna glow. And somebody's gonna.
I want to know how this goes when you finish it.
Yeah.
Because I kind of want to watch the movie now just to see how it ends up. Honestly,
you should. You would like it.
You already like shitty movies.
Yeah, you would like it because you're an idiot with bad taste.
He made me wear this shirt because he said it's the idiot shirt.
What are those, Birds of Paradise?
They are Birds of Paradise.
Okay.
I felt like since it's a hot-ass Christmas, it's 80 degrees down here.
It is too hot, man.
Yeah.
We had great cold weather for a few weeks. This is the Let's Get Trashed weather corner. All right.
As you can see here,
every hour on the 8s, we're doing it's 5:38.
We almost missed it. We're doing weather on the 8s,
This is
guys.
our weather corner. I've got a event to go to tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Going to be outside?
I think so. It's a vow renewal of some friends of mine. They're like renewing their wedding vows, which is fun. I got an invitation in the mail. It did not say what to wear. I don't know how formal this is going to be, and if I have to wear a jacket, I will kill myself.
Here's what I would do. I would wear slacks, a jacket, comfortable dress shoes, and a shirt, but no tie.
Definitely no tie. I won't go if it said you wear a tie, I would just delete them from my phone.
That doesn't mean not bring a tie though. At least be prepared.
No, I'll leave if they say I think it's at a house. I don't think it's like. I don't think it's that formal of a ceremony. It didn't say like black tie or form. It didn't give me a dress code. Well, so I just have to guess. I don't know what a vow renewal is like.
It sounds like it would be pretty casual. I think if you
hope so.
Yeah, just don't show up in like a Def Leppard t-shirt with the sleeves cut off and some denim jorts, and I think you're gonna be okay.
Damn it, that sounds so good though.
Y'all already got them vows replaced. We're from the South. I can say it.
Yeah. So either way, but if I pull up and I'm the only guy not wearing a jacket, I'm just gonna leave.
You're not even gonna bring a jacket or a tie just in case?
It's too hot.
Well,
it's too hot to wear a jacket.
All right. I get you.
I'll be sweating and gross and uncomfortable, and it's already I'll just like nobody wants me here.
I'm usually all three of those things.
Yeah,
sweaty and gross and uncomfortable.
Me too, and I just rather I could be that at home. Underground base. Where we're doing secret experiments.
Right.
Creating zombies.
The only thing that I can think of when you say that is my address.
All right. Thanks, everybody. You can find me at Let's Get Trashed Pod on Instagram, or you can find me Get Trashed Pod on Twitter. Just follow those two things, please. On any of these episodes, I guess I should have. I might include some stuff. I might cut this section and copy and paste it into the end of every episode.
That's going to be great because everybody will have to look through the entire episode to know why the fuck it's the same between all three. I like that idea. That's tight.
All right. So I'm doing that. You're seeing this at the end of the first hour. Guess what? You're seeing it at the end of the second, third, and fourth. So follow at Let's Get Trashed Pod on Instagram, at Get Trashed Pod on Twitter. Like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. Let me know. Here's the comments I want to hear from you. That you love me and that I'm handsome and that I'm doing a good job. And then also I want to hear comments of what video game movies did we forget? What ideas do you have? We didn't even talk about like my ideas for the Legend of Zelda, what they should do if they ever make a Zelda movie. What they should do if they ever do a something. What they should do if they ever do a something.
Any other, because there are various other upcoming video game adaptation movies coming up as well. We didn't get a chance to touch on that.
Yeah, the only one we talked about was Mario.
Yeah. It's
whatever.
Me.
Let us know what you think.
Mario.
It's wahoo. Let us know what you think, folks. Let me know what your favorite video game movie is or favorite video game. I'm never going to talk about my favorite video game TV series, which is The Witcher. Well, I hate that TV series, but I love the video game and the books are the best thing in the world. Whatever. I'm digressing. Thanks, everybody. Let's get trashed. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.